Hi, I'm Holt McCallany, and you're watching Real Fans, Real Talk.
Face facts, what up, what up? RealFansRealTalk.com, where Arthur Diamonds, Trip Young, and Intern Tom for the white and black fans, Asia to Manhattan. I get all my facts from my bro Mark the Stats Man. If you're not tuned in, I recommend the CAT scan. And if your brain checks out, then you deserve a backhand. Sports, gossip, all the hot topics. RealFansRealTalk.com got it. They got the hottest bloggers.
Is Jeremy Lin hurt?
Well, log on to the site and you can hear it from them first. I'm talking about the latest. I'm talking about the greatest. Go check out the archives. Even tell a neighbor. Tell him Bobby sent ya. From spring to winter, tuning in should be the only thing on your agenda. Certified cosign, you know what I'm about, son. RealFansRealTalk.com. I'm out one. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, real talk. RealFansRealTalk.com. RealFansRealTalk.com. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, real talk. RealFansRealTalk.com. RealFansRealTalk.com.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I feel like taking out my bass guitar right now, but no, we are very much live. Of course, I'm Trip Young, and this is Real Fans, Real Talk, coming to you from the Bronx on BronxNet, and I got the usual cast of characters with a new face, but we're going to get into that in a second. Let me, of course, go to my right, Mark the Statman Skevich. Happy New Year, brother.
Happy New Year. Great to be back here on BronxNet Television for another live episode of Real Fans, Real Talk. Mark the Statman Skevich in the flesh. I know Trip Young has something for me that I don't want right now, but before let's delay that a little bit.
Okay, good. I'm going to let you rock out. I'm going to let you
introduce the usual suspects coming back again. Sean Fontaine.
Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Hope you had a great and happy New Year. Hope you were safe. How was you guys' New Year?
Everything was good. The Christmas was on a Tuesday. New Year's was on a Tuesday. I was waiting to get my Real Fans, Real Talk fix going on. And, of course, we have our newest member to start off the new year, the lovely Rose Claire joining us as well.
Hi, everybody. Good to be here. I see we're all wearing red. Go Crimson Tide. I'm kind of eating my words.
The Real Fans, Real Talk colors, too.
Yes. That's why I wore them for Real Fans, Real Talk. But
there you go.
Yes. Hello. Good to be here.
That's what I like to hear now. I like that. Like to hear that. Like that everybody's juices are flowing right now. This is one thing that I do not like that I have to do. Statman, I'm sorry I had to pull this out of my bag of tricks. I know Fontaine loves this. He loves seeing this happen to you right now. We're just going to say this is for Brooklyn.
Yeah, the B is for Brooklyn.
Yeah, but guys, I hate to do this, but Statman.
For those of you that don't know, we have the segment, if this is the first time you're watching us, we have the segment on the show called Shot for Shot, where there's a referee that asks a series of questions. The loser on the next episode has to wear team apparel of a team that they hate. There's nobody they hate worse than the Boston Bum Sox, but this is the B is for Brooklyn. It doesn't match the attire and the Real Fans, Real Talk colors, so we'll just keep it like that. The B is for Brooklyn. I have to wear this until the next edition of Shot for Shot, which we're going to have for you a little bit later on. But the first item on the agenda in sports was the BCS Alabama beatdown that happened last night. Notre Dame did not stand a chance. Alabama Roll Tide was rolling all over, and the Fighting Irish were not putting much of a fight. Trip Young, I know you said you were a little surprised that it was going to be, you knew Alabama was going to win, but you didn't think it was going to be that big of a margin of deficit in this one. So
listen, I got to say this because I've been rolling with the Tide, and I'm glad it's all over, but I did not expect that. I thought we were going to see a better performance from Manti Te'o, best defensive player. Well, until he comes across that Alabama, offensive line.
500 pounds.
Yeah, it's kind of like Tom Brady, in the Giants. He's good against everybody else. Then the Giants come to town, and it's just over with. I was actually they impressed me to the point where I had to just sit back, put my feet up, and just kind of relish in everything that was going on, because certain people, I'm not going to name any names or point any elbows on the panel, thought that Notre Dame actually had a chance. And that just was not the case. We saw an inferior team, a team that really should not, they shouldn't even be mentioned in the same breath as Alabama. So Rose.
Now, okay, right off the bat.
I will point fingers. It's the guy not wearing red right now.
No.
I did say they were going to win, so.
You know, I actually also thought that Notre Dame stood a fighting Irish chance in that matchup, and they definitely, as you said, I don't agree with you. I don't think that they were an inferior team. I felt that was a bad game for them. You know what? Look at this entire year, they gave up 9 touchdowns in the whole year, and then they gave up 6 last night. I mean, it was just, they were definitely outmatched. I was looking forward to, Alabama's O-line that's going to save the world. All I could hear about. I was getting a little bit sick of it. Notre Dame came in with their, 7-line offense. I thought there was going to be a great matchup. It did not happen that way. It just, from the first play, it was just downhill. It was rough. Henceforth, I am wearing red, which I'm, not too happy about, but I look good in red, so I'm okay with it.
It works.
Go Crimson Tide. I'm happy for you. I really am. Nick Saban also, just want to point out, he's got a legacy going on now. He doesn't want to say dynasty, but he's got a huge dynasty going on right now. Him and Bear Bryant are right up there with their, 2 BCS wins in 2 different, they've had more, but in 2 different schools. Good for you, Nick Saban. Happy for you.
And I gotta say this as well, because I know you said dynasty here. They've won 3 out of the last 4. Now I want to point out to you guys who will be returning to the school next year. They have Amari Cooper, who is a freshman who has had an amazing season, over 1,000 yards receiving. You have Lacey, you have TJ Yeldon. All of these guys will be coming back next season. I know AJ McCarron is a junior right now, so he can go if he wants to, but he has not declared. I think he's going to stay there for another year. So we're talking about them bringing back key guys here, which means that we could see them win again next season. And from what we saw this year, I know Texas A&M got them at home. But
I think that woke them up, though.
Yeah, that's what it was. That was the way.
For the most part, they was dropping 40 and 50 points on a lot of teams this year, which Notre Dame really didn't do. They squeezed by on a lot of their victories, so that kind of showed up in the last game of the year. Also, with them spanking them by halftime, it was 28-0.
Yeah. So it wasn't a good look. I was hoping for the shutout, actually, at that point.
We playing video games. That would have been a double. We got off the
they have to go home after that, man.
And, A&M is no slouch either. Let's not forget. We'll talk about the Cotton Bowl in a little bit. But, yeah, if they're going to lose to a team, Johnny Football would be the one, I guess.
Now, I do have to say this because, Ohio State actually, had they not had all of the suspensions and everything, they would have actually been in that championship game versus Notre Dame. So my question to the panel is, who then wins the BCS championship game if it's Notre Dame versus Ohio State?
I'm still going with Notre Dame. I'm going with Ohio State. I'm sorry. I don't feel like they won convincingly enough throughout the year, personally. They squeezed by too many times, and then, like I said, with them playing Alabama this year, they played against a team that was dropping 40 and 50 points against the teams. They had a wake-up call with A&M. So when they matched up, that was it. So I think when it comes down to it, I think Ohio would have won that game.
I'm going Notre Dame. I picked them to win last night. I'm sticking with it. They would have won against Ohio State. They had a great defense all year long, number 6 in the nation. I think they definitely would have pulled through. I think last night was a fluke, and it would have turned out differently.
I don't know. You saw who the men and the boys last night.
Yeah,
it was tough.
And we have some people on some other networks, and just disrespecting one of my guys, one of the best football players of all time, and say Manti Te'o is the next coming of Ray Lewis.
Cut it out.
And from that performance right now, we know that he could not even tie Ray Lewis's shoes. All right, and I like Manti, Te'o, I really do. I think he's gonna be good, but he's just not on that level. And he did not have a good performance. He missed a lot of tackles yesterday. They pretty much did whatever they want. They had AJ McCarron looking like Peyton Manning out there, which is unheard of. He's having a good year. He threw for 30 touchdowns this season, but I don't think I've ever seen AJ McCarron look that good. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. He pretty much did what he wanted to do. The running backs, they ran for over 200 yards combined. you know, it was just not a good look for Notre Dame at all.
Notre Dame's defense, if they didn't count the first half, then there would have been a
Oh,
close game.
okay.
Well, they didn't
Yeah.
score till like
Let's do
4
that. I
minutes
like
left in
that.
the third quarter anyway.
Yeah,
So either way.
we'd have to erase the first 2 quarters and half of the third, and then
Now, and about really quick, sorry, about Manti Te'o really quickly. I was a little bit before last night, a little bit embittered that he didn't get the Heisman because he won all those other awards. He won the Maxwell Award, the Lot Impact Trophy. What was that other one? The Walter Camp Award. I thought, you know, if he's winning all of these, then why doesn't he get the Heisman? Yeah, exactly. So why is he not getting it? Oh, because he's not a quarterback. So I had my little grumbling about that. But after seeing the way that Johnny Football, whatever, played against, you know.
Freshman.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Red shirt freshman, albeit, but still. Okay, anyway, that was my little thing. But I do agree after seeing that game and, you know, the Cotton Bowl and the BCS Bowl, I think the right person won.
But speaking of Ray Lewis, which Trip Young mentioned earlier, it was his last game in Baltimore as he announced his retirement. Baltimore does not have any more home games throughout the playoffs, even if they make it all the way to the Super Bowl. So Ray Lewis, he ends up in Baltimore with a W. We've mentioned it on the radio show on RealFansRealTalk.com, which airs every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That you know, the little dance that he did and everything might have him going for Dancing with the Stars after after his career is over. But big win, got the guys hyped up, and Baltimore, Andrew Luck and company just ran out of luck, and when they went into Baltimore, and that was it. So I know you're happy about it, Trip Young.
Listen, you know, I have to say this because you know those are my guys. I really wanted to see Ravens Giants in the Super Bowl again, rematch from 2000. That would have been, you know, the best thing for me.
Different outcome.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, now
it
it's
would have been the best thing.
Well,
the Giants would have won. But
you know, but now they have a chance to get back there. They're healthy, you know, and this is sad for me because Ray Lewis, you know, is one of my favorite players since as far back as I can remember, and you know, him retiring kind of just really throws off, especially really throws off my Madden game as well. You know, for people at home that play Madden, that's going to be a big loss for me next season when we do the franchise mode. But you know, he's had a great career, and one thing I like about Ray Lewis is, you know, he is if not the best, he's one of the best motivators in the NFL. He has been for a long time, and he's been able to get that defense up every single possession, and he grooms these guys that come in, Terrell Suggs, you know, Haloti Nada, all of these guys. He kind of just gets the ring around them, and he has them fired up every game, and just the fact that he's, you know, getting ready to retire after this season, even though I hope he reconsiders that, you know, but I think that in itself was enough motivation for them to beat the Colts because they weren't going to lose on Ray Lewis's last home game in Baltimore's home playoff game. That wasn't going to happen. And, you know, we saw it.
You hope that he's the Brett Favre of linebackers.
I do.
17 years, your body's kind of weary.
And I put something together, you know, for you guys. I wanted to show you guys at home, you know, for my boy Ray Lewis, since he is retiring. I don't know if we got it ready yet upstairs in the booth, but I just want to show a couple of highlights from Ray Lewis, from his amazing career that he's had playing for only, you know, the Baltimore Ravens, two-time Defensive Player of the Year, Super Bowl champion.
1,573 tackles, 41 and a half sacks, 31 interceptions, 19 forced fumbles. I wanted to impress you.
I have to reintroduce our newest member. This is not Rose Claire, it's Stat Girl.
No. You're Stat Man. I'm just trying to look cool in front of you guys. No.
But that's definitely good. So here we go. I think we got it rolling now.
of the best to ever do it, Ray Lewis, and with a healthy Ravens squad coming back, they prevented the Colts from scoring any touchdowns. Adam Vinatieri was the only person scoring with 3 field goals, 3 out of 4 actually, missing one of them. And another team that's defense actually showed up, which was a surprise to a lot of people. The Green Bay Packers managed to shut down Adrian Peterson, AD, all day, who fell 9 yards short of Eric Dickerson's record during the course of the regular season, the record that's been held since 1984, only the 7th player to rush for over 2,000 yards. Very strong MVP candidate as well. He was shut down. The Green Bay defense were like, fool you me once, fool me twice, but not fool me thrice, I guess. They kept them under 100 yards, which 99 yards is a good performance for any other running back, but considering the last 2 performances against Green Bay was about 200 yards. They contained the outside. They forced them inside. Wasn't having too much success. We'll pass it over to you, Sean. What did you think of that one?
They got revenge. I think, you know, they learned from their mistakes from times before, whatever, and they say he wasn't going to run all over them, you know. It was a great win for them or whatever, and going forward or whatever. Who they facing now? The Packers got, what, the 49ers? So they have another big defense they have to face now. So, you know.
Frank Gore.
All day wasn't doing that all day, as we showed the highlights.
And they got, what, Kaepernick coming up or whatever. Packers, you know, that Kaepernick coming up. They lost to, what, early this year when they had Alex Smith or whatever. So, you know, it's definitely going to be a good game.
Maybe they have a chance now because Kaepernick is at QB.
Well, my frat brother, he's going to do his thing come Saturday.
Really?
I don't know, yeah.
Your frat brother?
Yeah, my frat brother. I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, so I think he's gonna do his thing. But it's definitely going to be a good game. I don't know, man. You never know. It's going to be great. I don't know.
Well,
it should be a good game. You know, you have one of the better defenses in the league going against that Aaron Rodgers led offense, and you know that passing game is amazing that they have out there. They did lose, so they're going to be looking to avenge that loss from earlier in the season. But you know the 49ers have got some making up to do for last year when they blew it
knocked out, right?
against the G-Men. So now they have a chance to get back.
You got all the ex-G-men on their team now. What are you saying?
Well, that's right. Well, then they sat down Brandon Jacobs because he didn't want to be there anymore. So and Manningham is out. He's hurt. Yeah. So now I don't know if they
leave Eli. That's it.
Yeah.
That is it. That is it.
Yeah.
But that leads us
So can I just say real quick, I just wanted to add as well that as we were talking about Frank Gore really quickly, with the 49ers, he had that first game that they played against the Packers of the season, he actually had 112 yards on them. And I think that if we were able to, and I say we, I'm not even a Packers fan, if the Packers, Don Capers' defense was able to basically bottle up AP to the point of under 100 yards, only the second time in 11 games to do that, I think they're going to be able to contain Frank Gore. As we said, AP is probably the MVP of the season. Frank Gore is no slouch, but at the same time, the way the defense looked, I think they're definitely going to be able to contain him.
I think there are 2 different types of running backs, and they didn't see.
Yeah, the quarterback too. That's more mobile as well.
Enough times, and the Packers' defense isn't exactly one of the better defenses in the league.
They did pretty well that last game.
I picked the 49ers from the beginning of the season. If the Giants don't do it, obviously I had my Giants bias. So if the Giants don't do it, I got the 49ers. Not like I'm a 49ers fan or anything, but it also leads to our next question, our fan mail question. Freddie from Fayetteville? I'm not sure how
North Carolina.
There you go. Okay, right. So, would there be a bigger NFC Championship game than the Packers versus the Seahawks? And if we do see that matchup, which team takes the rematch? Personally, I think it's going to be 49ers-Falcons, but I think that would be the more interesting matchup. The rematch of that Monday Night Football with the immaculate interception situation on Monday Night Football. So I know the Packers are going to be looking for revenge on that one. The Packers are a much more talented team than the Seahawks. I think they would take it if it leads to that, but I don't think that we're going to see that matchup in the NFC.
Well, the Seahawks actually they lost their best defensive player, and Chris Clemens, so they're going to be hurting out there against the Falcons and Matt Ryan and Julio Jones and Roddy White. So that's going to be a rough one because I did pick them, but then after I realized that he was going to be out, he's a torn ACL and meniscus, so there's no way he's going to be coming back to play. What I do want to say, though, about the 49ers is I want you guys to be on the lookout for the man that they call Randy Watson, because they've been, kind of slow playing him this season. They wanted to keep his energy up, just for the playoffs. And I think that we're going to see, a little bit of the old Randy Moss come out this weekend when they play the Packers, because he's shown glimpses this season, but I think they've really just been trying to rest him and save him for the playoffs, and I think this is when we're gonna see Randy Moss show out. So just keep that in mind, and when you're watching that game, just remember, Trip Young said that. All right.
Can't forget about the old timer though.
We got a lot of topics to talk about, but if you want to send your fan mail questions in, the email address is fanmail@realfansrealtalk. All our individual contact information, that's our Twitter addresses, our email addresses, are on the realfansrealtalk.com website under the contact section of the page. Also, make sure you like us on Facebook, facebook.com/realfansrealtalk. Also, if you want to follow us on Twitter, the Twitter email address is @realfantalk. And as far as the Facebook page, we post our previous radio and TV episodes on there as well, some funny photos, our blogs, everything gets posted on that Facebook page, so make sure you click like on our Facebook page. And we do air every Tuesday live on BronxNet Television at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and our radio show airs live every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and next week, Monday, we will be having a special episode at 8 p.m. with Yes Network anchor Bob Lorenz, so you might want to check out that one. The radio show is all throughout, the radio show player is all throughout the realfansrealtalk.com website. On the right-hand side of our site, at every page that you go to, you can click the player for our previous episodes and our live episodes as well. So, just getting to some of the coaches that were fired this week, we had obviously not a big surprise that Andy Reid was fired, but you had we talked about it also on the radio show. The Bears laying off
Lovie
their
Smith.
Lovie Smith, got them to the Super Bowl in
2007. Yep.
So it's
I just gotta say, first of all, I'm glad that we still have our jobs coming in 2013, because it's not a good look when you get fired right before the new year starts. Yeah. So I'm glad they still have us, on the air. They realized how good the show was, so they wanted to kind of keep us around a little bit longer. But the one guy who I thought should have been let go was actually not let go, and that was good old Rex Ryan.
This guy.
He is, still coaching the Jets as they look for a new GM. They did fire the offensive coordinator, so Sperano is out. I don't know. I know they were talking about going after North Turner. A couple of teams were talking about going after North Turner. So we'll see how that goes. But they have to hire a new GM as well. And again, Rex Ryan is still the leader of the New York Jets, and it's just sad, because I feel bad for Jets fans at this point. Like, I don't even. It just sucks, because it's not gonna get any better anytime soon.
Right.
And I feel bad for guys like Revis, who you have the best cornerback in the league on your team, and he just has to suffer through all of this nonsense.
Yeah, he was injured through.
That's even worse.
Yeah, he can't even do nothing to change it. Santonio Holmes, now.
DeBrick.
Yeah, like it just really sucks. But again, that's the Jets.
Guaranteeing Super Bowls every year, trying to be the next Joe Namath for the Jets, making guarantees.
It
doesn't count when you guarantee every year.
Yeah. And you don't actually win or even make it to the Super Bowl.
If you guarantee it and you get it, it's like
4-12 is not getting it.
7 times already.
You should probably wait until you actually make the playoffs before you start even thinking about guaranteeing stuff, and then even wait till you make it out the AFC Championship game. Yeah. If you get into the Super Bowl and you want to say it, then all right, because it's 50-50, and then you can get it or you can't get it. But Rex, you got to get together. He's one of the best defensive minds in football, but I just
points.
Right.
Yeah, I just don't know.
So he should be a defensive coordinator, probably not a head coach.
He was amazing for the Ravens those years that he was in Baltimore, and I don't know, from him coming to the Jets? Is it the Jets or is it Rex? Which one do they just bring you down when you come to the Jets?
It's a lack of personnel also.
It's the whole thing.
It's him with the guarantees. It's him not taking things seriously sometimes with his press conference, want to make jokes and stuff as opposed to being a serious coach. And, they said that with the guarantees, how it sometimes affects the players. Sometimes it makes them overconfident. Sometimes it puts pressure on them. So, it's good to be confident, but a little overconfident there for Rex Ryan. And a lot of people were, some people say it wasn't exactly his fault that he was forced into the Tim Tebow situation, and he doesn't get to make a lot of the decisions. But I mean, the team that he had to work with it, and they just looked really horrible out there. So we kind of feel bad for them. None of us are Jets fans, but we just kind of feel bad.
But I also do root for the Jets as well, and it does bother me. And I just get bothered by the fact that Rex Ryan, he is all outspoken and has no fear of talking to anybody. And then where is he when his team is losing and he doesn't get fired and everything is going, through the roof? So I think, I think it's just such a huge problem that he's all talk and then all of a sudden everything just goes downhill and he goes to the Bahamas and shows off his tattoo and reads novels. It's just, it's not right. I think whatever the situation, maybe they told him not to speak, but maybe they should tell him not to speak when he's guaranteeing the Super Bowl wins every time too. Where is that?
Another thing you shouldn't speak about. If you're Kevin Garnett, you shouldn't be speaking to Carmelo Anthony. Rumors have it that he said something about his wife.
Should we say exactly what the rumors were, or should we?
I only saw the fight. I would like to hear it.
All right, it's kind of a rough one. This is Real Fans, Real Talk, and we are live. So basically, what the rumor is that Kevin Garnett told Carmelo Anthony that his beautiful wife has a similar taste to Honey Nut Cheerios.
Oh no!
So it's just not
Maybe we shouldn't have done
that. That's the word around the campfire, ladies.
Yeah, that's just the word around the campfire.
Enough to chase a bus down.
Yes,
and try to fight the whole team.
Yes, it definitely was. Apparently he's from Brooklyn. So
Red Hook.
it's Red Hook. And he definitely went after Kevin Garnett. He actually, if you look on the court, they were very physical with each other throughout the course of the game. And then, at one point, Melo just had enough, and he actually backed Kevin Garnett down to the other half of the court. And then after the game, he went to the locker room looking for him, after they waited outside on the bus. And, here we got some of the footage right here. This is Carmelo right now walking up on Kevin Garnett. I think Kevin Garnett realized, he realized that he might have just gone a little bit too far in this particular situation.
But Garnett does this to everybody though. When you have J.R. Smith trying to back you up, and he's a wild one too.
Yeah,
it's definitely a problem. Yeah, definitely.
So I think he
Good
realized.
for him though, sticking up for his woman.
Hey, for Lala, you better. Stick up for all that goodness. Serena, I'm sorry, baby. I don't quote me on that, Serena. Just for TV.
You do the same thing.
You do the same thing. Yeah, because but people know they don't come at Serena like that. They don't try to talk to Serena. They understand the type of person that I am. So, but it works out for us. But this definitely, is a great way to start off the Knicks Celtics this season, the season series. And I really hope that they see the Celtics in the playoffs this season. I'm really looking forward, to that, because I think it's just going to be a great series.
Go ahead and make it easier for the Heat. Don't worry about it.
Well, hey, what can we say? Now, they did, however, lose the game, outside of the fact that Garnett was getting into, Carmelo's psyche a little bit. It did work. Actually, I'll say a lot, because he was 6 for 26 from the field. 20 points.
That happened late in the game, though, and they got the double technical, and then it was about 5 minutes to go, and they were about to get another double technical, in which case both of them would have been ejected. Right after that, Melo hits a three in front of his face, but Melo was struggling throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
And there's one thing to play head games, and then there's another thing to cross the line when you start talking about family and stuff. So I don't blame Melo for representing his Brooklyn G over there and trying to do something against the opposing team.
We're coming to expect that from Garnett, and I was saying this earlier, on the group page on Facebook, And it seems that, you know, as Garnett's skill set has started to deteriorate a little bit, he's developed into somewhat of a dirty player, you know. And this is not the first time that this has happened. We remember the incident with Charlie Villanueva when he said something along the lines of him looking like a cancer patient or something like that, when he has alopecia. And you know, it's like I said, it's been going on these past couple of years, and it kind of sucks because I was a huge fan of Kevin Garnett,
right.
You know, but now it's just like, you know, just play basketball. All this extra stuff
but
is
this is not
necessary.
what Rodman did as well.
But you knew that about Rodman. That was Rodman's
This is KG. I mean, he had integrity.
But KG always ran his mouth.
He did, but not like this. Not like this.
Hey, I mean, hey.
In Minnesota, he was a class act. He comes. I guess it's because he's going to Bumtown, and those guys out there.
He was humble. He's older now.
By the way, for those of you joining us late, this horrible hat on my head. I am not a Red Sox fan. I am a Yankees fan. So
he's matching though, right?
One of the people I always hated was Paul Pierce, and he's blowing kisses like all his.
Yeah, I'm tired of Paul Pierce.
He does when he's in the Garden. Now I'm debating adding KG to that list, but it's one thing to fight against, you know, the opposing team, but apparently we got fighting in on the same team in Laker Town, where Dwight Howard had to be restrained from you know,
going at
Kobe
Yeah.
not too long ago. So.
Yeah, well, he you know, for once he actually agreed with Shaq, and apparently, you know, this is the word around the campfire again. He agreed that Dwight Howard was soft with a capital S, and that did not sit too well with Dwight Howard, as you can see him right there on the screen. And apparently,
smiling the way he always does. Because Kobe didn't like that either, because he said he smiles too much on the court.
So, you know.
Now, can I just say really quickly, though, that, you know, Kobe Bryant, it reminds me of Allen Iverson crying over Larry Brown. You don't realize what you have till it's gone. Of course, he's going to agree with Shaq now that Shaq's gone. Did they really get along when they were together?
Nope.
Not so much. So, I mean, Kobe, are you just going to get along with anybody? No. Dwight Howard, I don't think he deserved it.
It was two different type of players as well. You know, like, I feel like Shaq was more serious when he got on the court versus when you got Dwight. Dwight's out there laughing and playing, and we out here getting beat, you know.
He's a little puppy.
You know, but hey, but you, as big as he is, he can't be no little puppy.
Kobe cannot coexist with another superstar whose personality is outspoken like that. You know, he can coexist with Nash because Nash is not that kind of a guy. Paul Gasol is not gonna, you know, be up in your face and rah-rah and all of that.
It's the non-Americans. So, they're humble.
Yeah. You know, but, you know, a guy like Dwight Howard or Shaq, where we saw Kobe, he just can't coexist with someone like that. And it's showing. The chemistry is not being built, and they can't even really start to build that chemistry because they don't even get along with each other. They don't have to be friends and sing kumbaya, but you know they have to develop some kind of a respect for each other on and off the court.
But on that note, actually, the thing about it is that you need to have, I think, that off-court relationship. When you don't have that off-court relationship, you don't have the on-court relationship. And Dwight Howard actually said, you know, I would really like to have a better relationship on the court. It doesn't matter what we do off the court. But I disagree with that. Any good team, you look at like the Miracle of 1980 hockey team, American team, they all bonded in that they did not like their head coach. He was a tough head coach. And I think that you really need to bond off the court, and I think that's the biggest mistake is that they're not. It's not going to happen, of course.
Kobe,
but
you know, we saw from him a couple of years ago when Kwame Brown was there, and Kobe.
Well, there's your problem.
Kobe, you know, certain players Kobe just looks at as, oh, you're not even on my level. Don't even talk to me off the court.
That's the problem. That's what I'm saying, though.
Came to the team, he said that that Dwight would be the third option on the team. I guess he was referring to Pau Gasol being the second option.
Yeah.
Right.
And, you know, and Dwight not even.
See, there you go.
Why is him not getting
he didn't
hurt?
Listen, all right, Dwight Howard didn't want to be there in the first place. He really wanted to come to Brooklyn, which I don't blame him. Brooklyn is where it's at.
Come to Brooklyn.
All right? Yeah, you know, but he had to go there. That's where the trade sent him to, and you know, it's not working. You know, and it sucks because you're talking about a team that has 4 players that are ranked in the top 25. 2 of them are in the top 6, and you're under 500. You're 11th seed in the West. And if they keep this up, now Dwight Howard is out. He has a torn meniscus in his right shoulder. Powell's out with a concussion. Jordan Hill is out with a hip injury. So they have no bigs right now. You know, I guess Anton Jameson's gonna be running center.
Everybody was waiting for Nash to come back, for everybody to mesh. Everybody
now,
was hurt, and I was like,
and Dwight is not going to be back for a couple of weeks. He's not going to be re-examined until next week. I just want to tell you guys, the next 10 games, the Lakers see OKC twice. They're on the road to face Houston. They're on the road to face the Spurs in back-to-back nights. They have Miami in that stretch.
It's definitely not looking good.
That's the homecoming game coming up for all those teams.
This Boston Red Sox hat. So this is right now, it's not looking good at all. It's time for shot, ladies and gentlemen.
While you put your jersey on, let me just say this: Scott Skiles and the Milwaukee Bucks have parted ways, so he will no longer be the head coach in Milwaukee. Doug Marrone will be the new head coach of the Buffalo Bills. He was, of course, Syracuse head coach, and he'll be with Buffalo next season. RG3,
Good luck with that, Doug.
torn right ACL. That was the big deal, but we'll get into that a little bit more with Shot for Shot. And for those of you hockey fans, the lockout is over. There will be hockey. It's going to be an extremely shortened season with about 45 games.
I thought it was 48
games, so it's going to be extremely short. But for you hockey fans out there, you will be able to see your favorite teams on the ice.
Thankfully for that.
Go Rangers.
There's a blog about it on the RealFansRealTalk.com website by the artist formerly known as intern Tom Delgado. It's the first blog right on our homepage, so make sure you check that out. It's a good read about the upcoming shortened season as the announcement was made. But for those of you that are just joining us, we are live on BronxNet Television. We air live every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we also have our radio show, which airs live every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. After the first round of football games during the NFL season and postseason, we are at 7:30. The live player is on our website, RealFansRealTalk.com, under RFRT Media and on air, and also throughout the page on the right-hand side of the website, we have our live player as well as our archived episodes. The way that Shot for Shot works, as you can see, I have the referee uniform. We ask a series of questions, usually 5, unless we go to overtime, like we had our octupular or whatever overtime, as we had so many extra questions on this past Sunday's episode that we ran over an hour. The archived episode is on there. It went about an hour and 20 minutes. And we ask a series of questions. Whichever person I agree with gets the point. The loser has to wear team apparel of a team that they hate. Like you saw me wearing that Boston Bum Sox hat, which is burning me right now because it hurts wearing that thing. But so without further ado, our newest member, Rose Claire, is getting her feet wet here with the first with her first Shot for Shot going.
Oh boy. You're looking very dapper, by the way, Statman. Just wanted to say, I like the jersey.
Thank you. All right, now I'm blushing. All right, so she goes up against Sean Fontaine, who beat Santa Claus on Christmas. Shame on you.
Did he get a lump of coal, or Sean? Did you get a lump of coal for that?
Hey, you know, I'm fine when I get anything, you know. I'm a grown man. I'm not a kid.
All right, so formerly Santa Skevich is looking for his revenge over here. Going with the first question, going to the challenger, Rose. Should RG3 have been pulled from the Seahawks-Redskins game? And what we mean by that is, should he have been pulled before the second half started?
I think he definitely should have. Anybody who knows, you know, you play football, you play through the pain. That's kind of the motto. That being said, when it doesn't work out, then, you know, they're always hailed as amazing. You know, when, for instance, Brett Favre, I know, had a very similar, or if not the same injury, and he played through it to do his 297,000 consecutive games, and all of that, it went great. But then when it doesn't work out, you just look like a jerk. Now, Mike Shanahan, of course, talked to RG3, and RG3 said he was hurt but not injured. But he's a 22-year-old rookie. What is he going to say? Of course he's going to try to play through the pain. They should have pulled him out way earlier. Now, I want to just give myself a little bit of, I know what I'm talking about here. I played rugby through college, and yes, we all try to play through the pain, but then we look like idiots when for a whole year we have to sit out because we played through the pain and then we got injured for too long. He's a rookie. This was his first year. He got to the playoffs. That was amazing. He should have sat out way earlier, and then he would have been, who knows what's going to happen next year. That being said, also that field was just unacceptable for playoff standards or any game standards, so they should have had that in check.
It was their home field, and they knew that their quarterback was injured. So
right, thank you.
Which makes it worse.
So many things, but
they got out there losing and not putting in effort that they decided not to work on the field.
They should have got that plush velvet carpet up in there or something.
I'm gonna definitely have to agree with you. He came onto the field limping for starters. I mean, of course, he tried to do his thing. He got them that far or whatever, but he just couldn't get it done for them. And like you said before, you know, when you try to, give it your all at the end of the game, I mean, try to give it your all even though you're injured and you don't win, you look stupid.
Yeah, and plus that's their franchise player.
Right.
Could have turned into a much more serious injury.
And it's not like they didn't draft two quarterbacks anyways.
Yeah. But you know what? What's the funny thing is it's not even like, he got hit or anything like that. It was just a bad snap, and he drops down to get the ball,
he did the
and his knee just turns, and it sucks. But now
there's a little bit of hate towards the Redskins. So as soon as that happened, I don't like to see anyone get hurt. But
it's just like
I was hearing I've fallen. I don't know. It was me, but I felt bad for thinking.
Lifelock commercial.
I was gonna post it on the Facebook page, and I was like, no, let me stop.
No,
bad karma. Good job.
If that doesn't happen, and they win the game, are we sitting here talking with different answers?
Almost definitely.
Well, we have a different question.
To be honest, I would not have a different answer, because if he wins that game, he's so hurt he's never going to play again, and that could be permanent. Like I said, it's just it's too dangerous.
Especially with that's the injury he got back in 2009 when he was in college.
Yeah.
So it's like
I think it's on the opposite, like the one he was on.
Yeah, well, everybody's gonna have this big thing. They're gonna think that he's gonna do the Adrian Peterson thing coming next year. So it's like,
yeah.
All right. Well, next question: which player has a bigger impact on the Seahawks offense, Marshawn Lynch or Russell Wilson?
I'm gonna definitely say Russell Wilson. He gets his start. He gets everybody started. He's a 5'9" quarterback. Everybody had
I thought it was 5'5".
Everybody had it out for him before the season.
Muggsy Bogues was 5'3".
Loved Muggsy.
Everybody had it out for him from the beginning. They said he wasn't gonna get drafted. He got in here. He did his thing, and it's like you can't do nothing but stand behind him. He's doing this thing right now. I'm going with Russell Wilson.
I hate to agree with you. If I have a better reason for my answer, can I get the point by any chance? Let's just, all right, real quick. So Russell Wilson, they both played amazingly well. And Lynch, he had that run on the 27-yard run at the end, which got them to where they were, because before that, they were 13-14. They were losing by 1 point. The only thing is that I would say Marshawn Lynch, he kind of decided the game a little bit more because he had that costly fumble in the first half. They were getting down the field.
Line.
Yeah, they were getting down the field.
Well,
then penalties.
Overall, not just in that particular.
No. But what overall, okay.
Overall,
This was my example because it was so dependent on him. But Russell Wilson, I want to say that I do want to use this as an example. In that game, he handed off the ball to Marshawn Lynch when he had that 27-yard run, but then he sprinted forward and was defensive to the cornerback, Josh Wilson, who was going up against Marshawn Lynch. So that was pretty amazing for the quarterback. And then he had the 2-point conversion after that.
Yeah.
So I mean, just that game alone. But throughout the season, I would say they're a team, so I hate to pick one, but I have to pick Russell Wilson.
If it was neck and neck, I'd have picked Russell Wilson just off of that block alone. The
fact that he
ran back down there and got that.
Quarterback faster than a running back.
Yeah, he actually got past him.
It's a dream. I love that. I love seeing quarterbacks that can run.
He was making cuts and everything, Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
He wasn't running full speed.
But still, the fact that your quarterback is going to go out there and put himself on the line.
Right. To block? I mean, come on.
You got to love it.
I have my opinion about Marshawn Lynch and how he made Seattle a contender, by himself, before Russell Wilson got there. So I would still actually pick Marshawn Lynch just based on that. They made it to the
Darn, I
playoffs
should have said Marshall.
with that losing record, and then beat New Orleans in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they were playoff contenders without Russell Wilson.
But he doesn't have the immaculate interception reception, as you like to say.
Russell Wilson, the first player in NFL history with a game-winning interception. So, moving on to the next question, though. Would the Chargers be a Super Bowl threat with Lovie Smith as the head coach? That goes to you, Rose.
That would be me. I think not the first year, but I think they'd have a good chance. I really hope that Lovie Smith does get the job. I'm so surprised that not more people are going after Lovie Smith right now. What is up with that? They were 10-6 for the season. All that the Vikings had to do was lose that game. They won it against the Packers. Sorry. They won it against the Packers. All they had to do was lose that game, which they did the next week. The irony. But anyway, it just not fair that his season, fire him, hire him, whatever you want to do, but that his season was dependent on another team that they weren't even playing, winning or losing a game. He brought them to the Super Bowl back in 2007. I think a new team, fresh start, Phillip Rivers as the quarterback. I think it can definitely.
Warm climate, nice warm.
Yes,
climate.
thank you. Thanks for the help. Warm climate.
Little
It's gonna happen. Maybe not that first year. Let's not go crazy, but yeah, I could definitely see that.
I think at this point, any new additions could quite possibly help the Chargers. They haven't really done much since LaDainian was there anyways, you know.
Yeah.
And it was unfortunate the situation that Levy was in or whatever, but it's definitely going to be a good move for him with Phillip Rivers out there in San Diego. So I'm definitely.
Because that was where their problem was anyway on the offensive end of the ball.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey,
I disagree with both of you because the question says if it was a playoff team, I would agree, but this says Super Bowl threat, and that's a pretty,
Well, he actually went to the Super Bowl, in the last 5 or so years. So, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
That is some type of promise.
Well, I didn't say the first
really-
year. I'm saying a couple years in, I could see them going to the Super
when
Bowl.
Peyton Manning and Tom Brady both retire.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, Peyton Manning. They're both at the end of the career. Just
I don't think that he can get to
Oh, I don't know
them to the
about that,
Super Bowl either, but
in age.
he will come in and really turn that defense around. And the offense, they can pretty much carry their own. The defense is where they have a lot of their struggles at. So he could turn things around. I don't know about Super Bowl, but I can see them making the playoffs next season, though.
Not the Jets, though.
So we got both Sean Fontaine and Rose Claire agreeing so far.
I'm gonna disagree this next one. Whatever you say.
Yeah.
For those of you just joining us, we were watching us live, Real Fans, Real Talk on BronxNet Television. We are live every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're doing the show segment called Shot for Shot, where we ask a series of questions. When we have a disagreement, if we'll ever have a disagreement,
We will.
that the referee, yours truly, Mark the Statman Skevich, agrees with, will get the point. And we'll go into the next question, which would be you, Sean. Will Dwight Howard still be a Laker after the trade deadline? And before you answer, don't just disagree for the sake of disagreeing.
I've got an answer either way. I got
A
this.
tie is better than a loss.
Yeah.
Will Dwight Howard remain a Laker after the trade deadline?
Yeah.
Well, I think all Lakers fans want to say no, but I think he's still going to be there after the trade deadline. After the season, maybe not, but after the trade deadline, I think he'll still be there. I think they're still trying to figure some things out. They don't have everybody healthy right now, and they're still trying to have everybody mesh. So I think he'll still be there after trade deadline.
Yay, I naturally disagree with you on this one. I think, I am a Nets fan, so I'm hoping that Dwight Howard's going to get his butt over there. We could really use the rebounding. He had like 26 rebounds in his last game. I'd love to see him get over there for the Nets before the with the trade deadline. After the trade deadline is what I want to say. Anyway,
Before the trade deadline.
before?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was after.
Well, after the trade deadline, you can't trade.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Our sheet says differently. Okay, so before the trade deadline, I'm going to stick with my decision because Dwight Howard and Kobe Bryant, their situation is dire. They're fighting on the court. It's just one of them has got to go. Obviously, Kobe's not going anywhere. He's going to go to the Nets. He's going to rebound for us, and it's going to be great.
They should trade Kobe like they traded Shaq.
I do like Brook Lopez. I know, but wishful thinking. I like Dwight Howard. I want him over there.
Just to clarify, you are right as well as far as the question is phrased, but it has to happen before the.
Right, I was a little
That's
confused.
That's the
Okay.
only confusion there, but I'm giving the point to Rose. The Lakers, if they don't trade him, they get nothing, and that's the exact same reason why the Magic traded him in the first place.
Mark my word.
And, you know, the Lakers are going to trade him because he's not happy there with Kobe Bryant, and they're not going to wait until after the trade deadline and hope that some magic happens between them. Brook Lopez can't be traded until January 15th, so that's part of the reason why we probably haven't heard any trade rumors yet. That's just because he just signed during the offseason a 4-year, $61 million deal this summer. So the Lakers will probably trade him for Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez is having a great year. It just can't happen until after January 15th. So we might have this happen probably next week. You know, late next week they'll probably start the trade talks with the Brooklyn Nets. 0.1-0 Rose.
All right, last one.
Over or under a 40% chance that the Seahawks win a second road playoff game?
Is it? I go now, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm picking over 40%. I still think they're going to lose to the Falcons, but I think it's going to be very close. So over 40% chance, I'd say like 47 to 53%. I think the Falcons, they have the best record in the NFC. NFL maybe even, right? The NFL? Yeah, they have the best record in the NFL. And I think that with Matt Ryan, they're doing well. They had that rest. The Seahawks look really good, but they're going over to Atlanta. I think it's going to be the end for them. But anyway, over 40 is my answer.
Is it over 40 or under 40 chance that they will win? I'm going to say under. You know, I see some real good matchups between those receivers and cornerbacks over there. You know, those losses that the Falcons took during the regular season definitely with some wake-up calls, you know. They had a real good, a lucky playoff game, victory last week, whatever, but I definitely don't see them beating the Falcons this week. Matt Ryan and them are definitely going to be in the next round. But, well, there is no but. I would say it would be a but because, let's say, the week off might, mess with them, but I'm going to say it's an under. 40% chance that they're going to...
I think I won that one. I think I know his answer.
I wish you were right, but a 53% chance would mean that they're the favorite. And I got to agree with the under. 40% chance. I think it's just under 40, like maybe 35% chance that they win. I'm sorry.
You know what? I got to say this, too, because had Chris Clemens not tore his ACL, I would have said over 40% as well, but that is a huge loss for the Seahawks. Now, you're talking about Roddy White, Julio Jones, and, old man River out there, Tony Gonzalez. Yeah. Who is going to be guarding all of these guys? That's their best, defensive player. I don't know.
And I'm gonna be honest with you,
I want them to win as well, but that's a huge loss.
I don't think if RG3 would have been hurt, I don't think they would have won. I don't think the Seahawks would have won that game.
We are live and we don't have overtime like we do on the radio. So I mean, we don't have enough time for too many overtime questions. We're still going to overtime.
Okay.
The fan mail questions that we have, I can't really use for shot, so I'm just going to come up with one. Did Chip Kelly make the right decision by staying in Oregon instead of coaching for the NFL? We will start. Well, you're next, Sean.
Chip Kelly. Great victory. They started out from the gate, balling at that BCS game there. I think he did a smart thing because, by him staying, his value goes up and he can get more money when he goes to the NFL. So I think it was a good thing for him to stay there. I mean, and the players want him there as well. He's had a lot of good productivity, the last few years at Oregon as well. So I think it was a good thing.
Okay.
Should I disagree just to end the game?
Okay. Just get some good reasons.
You will be wearing.
If you're wrong, so.
All right, my honest opinion is that I do think he did the right thing by staying as well. He has a great thing going with Oregon, and I think it was good for him to stay. I think the Eagles was not a great team for him to go to. The Browns, he met with the GM there for 7 hours and decided to stay. I definitely think he made the right choice there.
You know what he did? He listened to real fans. Real the Statman's opinion that he goes from somebody that he's admired at Oregon to go to a team like Philadelphia Eagles where they hate everyone and throw snowballs at Santa Claus. So we're not.
They hate their own players.
Exactly.
Yeah. Santa Claus is just getting beaten up everywhere in
Trip
sports.
Young, you got an overtime question for us, or?
Yes, I do have an overtime question. Will the New York Knicks go farther than the Miami Heat? No, I can't ask that one. That's gonna be a biased question for Statman. Yeah, you'd have to say that. All right. No, I'll ask this question. Will Oh my goodness! This is crazy right here. This man is. We gotta make this one quick. Will Johnny Football win a second Heisman before he goes to the NFL? If he goes to the NFL, will he win the Heisman again?
I definitely think he will. He looked phenomenal in his last game at the Cotton Bowl, and he's been playing. What did he have? Over 200 yards in that last game. Rushing. Yeah, just a phenomenal player. He's only a second-year freshman or redshirt freshman. Mm-hmm. He's got a lot of time. I think he's only going to get better. He's healthy. He's good. There's no reason he wouldn't.
Because we're not going to break this tie. To throw out some numbers out there, like you just said, 516 yards total offense in that game, and he had 4 TDs and 41-13 victory over them. Nah, he's definitely going to win another one. Okay. As a freshman, and you win. Come on.
He looks so good.
Come on. You want a quick stat?
Come on.
You got a quick one?
When the lights came on, he showed up.
Well, before we run out of time, Trip Young, you can ponder another question. I just want to shout out Jim Boheim for winning his 903rd, passing Bob Knight on the second time. The Texas Rangers signed Berkman and Mariano Rivera, still not 100% right now. So that's a big upset for the Yankees.
Let's run, because we got to run through this day in sports history really quick while we come with that other question. So in 1955, Louise Sugg wins the LPGA LA Golf Open.
In 1980, Islanders Glenn Roche, 20th shutout of opponent against the Canucks, 3-0.
In 1993, Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan scored his 20,000th career point.
And this day in history, 1995, Mike Schmidt, all-the-time Philadelphia Philly, was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame.
4 victories in the Eagles.
Okay, all right. we gotta get that last.
All right. Well, we'll take the fan mail question and we'll see how this goes. It's probably going to be biased too. But Derek from St. Louis writes, with the lockout ending, which team do you guys think is the early pick to take the 2013 Stanley Cup? Start with you, Sean.
Only because I'm new to this hockey thing, I'm just going to go with the regional guys. I'm going to say the Rangers, man.
Oh, my goodness. That's my team.
Yeah, we're going to have to.
Yeah. I'm saying it happened for the Niners. It can't happen for us.
Listen. Next week, we will go back and we will battle this out
real quick.
I'm going for the Niners.
Packers.
Sean's the...
That's ridiculous.
We will see you guys next week, again live right here on BronxNet, Channel 68 on Cablevision, Channel 34 on Verizon, and check us out online every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. RealFansRealTalk.com, Facebook.com /RealFansRealTalk, @RealFanTalk, and on the website you can get all of our Twitter names, read up on the blogs. Check us out, the best sports news and talk show on the planet. Real Fans, Real Talk. I'm Trip Young for Mark the Statman Skevich, Sean Fontaine, and Rose Claire. We will see you guys next week.
Face facts, what up? RealFansRealTalk.com, where Arthur Diamonds, Trip Young, and intern Tom. For the white and black fans, Asia to Manhattan, I get all my facts from my bro Mark the Stats Man. If you're not tuned in, I recommend the CAT scan. And if your brain checks out, then you deserve a backhand. Sports, gossip, all the hot topics. RealFansRealTalk.com got it. They got the hottest bloggers.
Is Jeremy Lin hurt?
Well, log onto the site and you can hear it from them first. I'm talking about the latest. I'm talking about the greatest. Go check out the archives. Even tell a neighbor. Tell them about Bobby sent ya. From spring to winter, tuning in should be the only thing on your agenda. Certified cosign, you know what I'm about, son. Real fans, realtalk.com. I'm out one. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, realtalk.com. Real fans, realtalk.com. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, realtalk.com. Real fans, realtalk.com.